Welcome. We shall discuss on now safety and project management. So this also is an answer to a general question on safety and project management, and the answer is so structured that amounts to a 5 or 8 marks question. So coming on to this one, so safety or construction safety, or maybe questions like safety in civil engineering projects, safety in building works, safety in road works, or generally safety in projects, etc. So this can be a content question content can be like this. So in giving the answer, the first point, or it's a very important concept you have to start writing, is regarding prevention of accidents or hazards through design. That is prevention through design. Shortly we can say PTD. So that is the first concept towards ensuring safety. Remember in my previous video we had mentioned about the Hyatt Residency walkway collapse. We shall now discuss about the ability to influence safety with respect to various stages of a project. So we show a graph here. The x-axis shows the project schedule or timing or various activities in project in a progressive manner. That is x-axis. Y-axis is the ability to influence safety. And if we draw the curve, it looks like something like this. High to low if we come in the reverse order in y-axis. So at the stage of conceptual design, we have a very high ability. The project will have a very high ability. At the stage of detailed engineering, still we have a very good ability to influence safety, but the ability reduces a little bit. And the procurement, again the ability reduces. As the construction proceeds, the ability in influencing safety reduces, and as soon as the start of the intended project, or maybe towards the after completion, start of the intended project, again we have very low ability level. So the question arises, when to think about the safety, when to think at what stage shall we think about the safety of that. That's all about the prevention through design. Now second point is, what are the controls possible in a typical project towards. So if we see the hierarchy in these controls, the first preference goes to eliminating hazards. This is possible by PTD, prevention through design. Design stage will help in eliminating hazard. That stage is known as design for safety. We shall see the basic difference between PTD and DFS. Anyway, DFS is the first hierarchical level of control for safety. Then the next is reduction of hazard, that is to reduce hazard, and subsequently next is isolating. We should think we are in a typical project site now. What are the means to isolate the hazard? We shall discuss that later. Let us finish the structure first. Then use engineering controls. Then use of administrative controls. And finally, use of PPE. PPE means personal protective equipments. You must have already heard about PPE, especially in this particular COVID timing. The PPE is not only for medical fraternity, it is required for all field staff. Examples are helmet, etc. We will discuss that in the next session. So coming on to the controls, the first three, elimination, reduction and isolation of hazard, these are the general control measures. The last three is using engineering controls, administrative controls and PPE. Regarding them, we have to write specifically based on each project. Say this may be different for building projects, different for road project, that may be different for development of various landforms and the project related to water bodies, then infrastructure projects, then power and environment. Power and environment or energy and environment projects. This is a very important field in civil engineering as well as infrastructure development projects. So what I advise is kindly read about energy and environment projects and infrastructure development projects. If you have a very good idea about that, it is very useful for answering these type of questions. Then the third item in this safety structure is training. So training, education and use of IT. All the stakeholders including engineers, contractors, then workers. All these three types of stakeholders, they have to attend programs on or safety drills on safety. So that is the first point in training and education. So three stakeholders are controlled. Second is safety alert systems, SAS. SAS installed. Of course, this will be generally with the help of the IT infrastructure. Third is periodic review programs. Review meetings shall be periodically conducted by including all the type of stakeholders. Fourth one is an overall change in team mindset. That is very important. Team mindset shall be properly tuned. Overall change means we see that lack of this mindset in various existing projects. So a change has to take place. The fifth point is regarding better communication, better collaboration and integration. Communication, collaboration and integration. Fourth item is miscellaneous or other aspects. Various points related to the other aspects. New and improvised contracting terms and conditions of contract. So it becomes obligation to contractors also. Lesser accidents and better insurance. Workers, insurance to workers also. Another aspect is better engineers licensing program. We need after the studies a specific structured system for some exams and also that based on which the engineer's license can be enforced. This type of licensing of project engineers, practicing engineers, student engineers, that is initially the apprentice, student engineers is existing everywhere in almost all the major countries. In India, this is a required issue and workflow also. So up to this, it was the general structure of project safety management. So that was answer to 5 or 8 marks question. And the question is regarding specifically, say maybe safety aspects of a building project. Then our answer should be a little bit more elaborated. That can be given based on the structure just now we have discussed. For example, one of that item that is engineering control. So what are the engineering control related to buildings, high-rise buildings, etc. Especially high-rise buildings, etc. Or what are the engineering controls if the question is regarding a highway project, then the engineering controls, what are they? Then the administrative controls, what are they? How to reduce hazard, how to prevent hazard, how to isolate hazardous areas in a project. All these things has to be specifically discussed. That we will discuss in the next video. So the answer for such questions will be ranging from 10 marks to 15 marks. Whatever just now we have discussed is answer is ranging from 5 to 8 marks. So accordingly you have to respond. Okay, thank you.